Hi, this is Jay Strachey with drillingcontractor.org. I'm here today at the IADC Drilling Engineers Committee Technology Forum. Joined with me today is Subodh Saxena with Nabors Drilling Solutions. Subodh, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Jay, for inviting me, and I had a great time presenting and talking to the other panelists in the IADC Drilling Engineering Conference today.
So, Subodh, in your presentation, you mentioned how services integration is the new efficiency frontier. Can you describe your vision for the services integration model?
So, Nabors is a company which deploys rigs all over the globe. And what we had noticed, we did a time motion study, and we noticed that there were a lot of companies, service companies, that were coming onto the rig and going at an average about 550 trips were made over a period of 30 days, where at least a few hundred workers from other service companies came to carry out well construction activities. Now, when the commodity prices were high, nobody worried about things like that. But what has happened is that as the company, our operators have wanted to reduce the cost, and focus is on reducing the time it takes to drill or construct a well, we realized that this was causing a significant loss of value in the well construction process. And our vision is that there are some very, very carefully selected well construction activities that can be fully integrated into the rig, which allows the well construction process to become more efficient in terms of time. It's more consistent in terms of delivery, and it also comes at a lower cost to our customer. So our vision is to deliver consistent, reliable performance at a cheaper cost through this integration.
And in your presentation, you also mentioned how integrated casing running service delivered superior results. Could you tell me more about how what you did and how you achieved this?
Sure. So tubular running services is one of the services which doesn't get much attention. And a traditional model that exists globally is that a tubular running services crew is called. They typically come with 6 to 8 people. They come with a lot of equipment. They come in, and as I said in my previous conversation, the rig hands over, the rig crew gives the rig over to them, and then they use their equipment and their people to run the casing. And what we have been able to do is that we have integrated the equipment that is used to integrate or to run the casing into the rig. So the hydraulic power comes from the rig, and the controls that are required to operate that equipment is now at the fingertips of the driller. So this allows us to integrate the equipment, which means there is lesser rig up time, rig down time, and there are certain connection makeup practices which required a lot of hands-on from the casing crew, which meant that there's a higher likelihood of them hurting their fingers. And we have now made up an automated makeup process, which means there is less touch points for human beings who are on the floor to touch the pipe and keep them away from harm zone. So the improvements that are happening are related to, again, efficiency, safety, and in terms of connection integrity, which is bringing value to the customer and is also changing the commercial models that we have with the customers, because now we can have a very different commercial model, which is not just based on time, material, and people, and it's more based on performance.
And you also mentioned how integrated digitalization has created improved safety. So could you tell us a bit more about how you achieved these improved safety results?
Yes, this is one of my favorite topics that I discussed today, is that everybody's talking about digitalization, everybody's talking about automation, but these are related to primarily well construction activities. But Nabors has deployed a very unique way of actually impacting the safety at the well site and impacting the lives of the crews by getting them trained in well control situations. So well control situations have been increasing, especially in North America, given the speed at which the drilling is happening. maybe the competency of the drillers, and also the workload that the driller has now. So one of the things that we have done is we have created a digital app which allows us to create conditions which are pseudo well control conditions, and it measures the response time and the quality of response of the driller and his crews. And by doing that, what we are able to do is to identify the gaps that may exist today in the understanding and their execution, and allows us to now go back and train them specifically on what gaps we see by an individual. And I think this would effectively change the way we train our people by actually having real digital data by individual, which will help cater the training specific to that individual.
Subodh, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Jay, for your time.
And thank you for joining us at drillingcontractor.org.